Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see what is EJB, Enterprise Java Beans, what is the main aim of EJB, why we need EJB, what are the characteristics of EJB, and overview and architecture of EJB. So, in second unit, the contents are EJB architecture, EJB architecture overview, EJB software architecture view, and we will see how to build and deploy one EJB application. EJB stands for Enterprise Java Bean. The main of EJB is to design the distributed applications. Now, it is nothing but a Java J2EE specification. Enterprise Java Bean is a J2EE specification, and it allows us to design the component-based applications. Generally, so far we have designed Java applications. Those are normal applications, not component-based applications. So, what do you mean by component applications? Component application means, for example, in a system, in a CPU, if anything fails working, like if the in CPU, some for example, motherboard is not working, then what we will do? We will replace a particular device with a new device, and then we can work with the CPU. For example, if the hard disk is not working, we can replace it with a new hard disk and we can work. Whereas in a program, we can't do such kind of things. So to use the same kind of architecture in programming languages, we have component based applications. So, so to design these kind of component based applications, we can use either Java Beans or Enterprise Java Beans. These two are different. So now we are discussing about Enterprise Java Beans. So the main aim of EJB is to design the business logic which are used to design the distributed applications, and it is based on Java Bean technology. So why we need EJB? EJB is used to design the enterprise applications, that is nothing but the business applications like online trading systems, online applications, or ATM machines, so on so. And this specification is operating system independent, means once if we design the EJB, we can run the EJB on any operating system. Next, it is in middleware independent, and it is easy to design and deploy the EJB. It enables us to design a reusable portable component. So once if we design a particular component, we can reuse it any number of times anywhere. And it has a main industry support. So the main advantages of EJBs are, these are transaction management applications, and EJBs are platform independent, and we can have scalable environment. Scalable environment means in future we can grow, we can the applications can be large, we can extend applications. Next, it is secure to access because it is a Java application. So as we know Java, it's a security. Next, it also has a feature of multi-tiered architecture. So anyone can access from anywhere. Next, easier to develop the applications because all IDs and system specific softwares will be available so that we can easily develop and deploy the application. Now, as already we have discussed that EJBs are based on Java Beans. So what is Java Bean? What is EJB? What is the difference? Java Bean is nothing but a Java component. It is also a component model. We can design Java components or reusable components. And mainly we can design a small widgets and controls like already we have seen in web technologies. Jelly bean, some colors, some different shapes. We can design small applications like widgets and controls. Whereas we can design these Java Beans in Java IDE, Integrated Development Environment. Whereas if you see about EJBs, EJB is also component models only, component based technology, but it is not modifiable. Whereas if you design Java Bean once, you can modify it, but whereas EJBs we can't modify. They are pre-packaged pieces, and these are used to run in application server, whereas Java Beans will be executable in client side, but EJBs will be executed in server side. Now, the characteristics of EJBs. Here, already we have discussed, it is an operating system independent. It is a server side system applications. And apart from this, EJB is easy to write the application because as a developer, when you are writing the EJB application, there is no need to know about the low level APIs, and no need to understand low level transactions or low level restrictions or low level threadings, whatever it may be. Low level APIs, no need to know about it because everything will be taken care of by IDs. Next, the next characteristics of EJB is easy to integrate with other EJB component. Means once if I develop a one EJB component, I can easily integrate the particular EJB component with any other EJB. Like if we design one EJB, we can use this EJB in any other servlet, JSPs or Java beans. Next, EJB follows one rule, that is write once, run anywhere. That means once if we develop one EJB component, we can execute on any platform any number of times. Some examples of EJBs are online sheet trading applications, online reservation applications like IRCTC, whatever we are using now, online catalog applications, online library applications. These are some examples of EJB. Apart from this, we can design any kind of these kind of applications. EJB architecture. Now, if you see here, these are EJBs which resides inside EJB container, which resides inside the EJB server. This is a client which will request for your application, and this is a database. If the EJB requires to access database, it will access. So if you see the EJB architecture, the main parts of EJB architecture, EJB server, EJB container, enterprise Java beans. Internally, it contains JNDI, JTA, Java mail. So in the next sessions, we will see in detail. Now this is the EJB architecture. If you see here, EJB client will be there, the client which wanted to access the application. Next, this is the EJB server. Here EJB container. In the previous slide, we have seen only container inside the EJB. So in detail, if you are going now, for inside the EJB container, there will be home interface, remote interface, home object, EJB object, and this is our enterprise Java bean. This is a database, and these are some services like JNDI, JTS security. Now we will see each and everything in detail. What is EJB server, what is EJB container, and so on. Now, EJB server. Generally, a server is nothing but a software which provides an environment to run the applications. Here also, EJB server is nothing but a software. It provides the environment to support the execution of EJBs, whatever the business applications you are developing. For that, it will provide the environment. And it manages and coordinates allocation of resources to the application. So the EJB server will have some resources. The server will allocate whatever the resources required by your EJB. Now, once the application server is installed and running, it will provide the services, whatever the services required by our EJB containers. Examples of such servers are BEA WebLogic, IBM WebSphere, Tomcat, Adobe, JRUN server. So already we have seen Tomcat server in web technologies to execute servlets and JSP. Same as for EJB server, you can use BEA WebLogic or IBM WebSphere or Glassfish server and so on. Now, as already we have discussed, this is EJB server. EJB server internally it contains EJB container. So what is a container? It is nothing but an environment which contains the Java beans inside it. So the container surrounds the bean on the EJB server. Now the main purpose of container is to manage your Java beans, EJBs. This container creates your EJB, controls, destroys the EJB. Like if you see Tomcat web server, whenever you are creating a servlet, the server will be responsible to create, load and destroy a servlet. Same as here also, this container will create your EJB, it will destroy the EJB, it will manage your EJB. Now, these are different services provided by EJB. We'll discuss. The container will be an intermediary between the bean class and the EJB server. If you see here, this is a mediator between this EJB server and our EJB. And it is used to create, control, destroy as we have already discussed. EJB server can have more than one container. Each container can have more number of EJBs. So one server can have any number of containers. Each container can have any number of EJBs. Now the container is used to manage the EJBs. It also used to host servlets, HTMLs, and so on. So, like for example, how the web server is hosting servlet, how the browser is hosting HTML. This container will host the EJB. EJB container manages every aspect of enterprise beans. Means each and every method call or each and every action will be managed by EJB container. And it also provides the facilities like security and persistency, transactions, concurrency, means how many number of clients are accessing, how much time it is accessing, whether it is having security region or security or not, so on things will be managed by EJB container. Now, next in the next class we will discuss about the remaining things.